You're listening to the Tribe Nail Tech podcast, where nail techs find inspiration and motivation to take their career to the next level. We welcome you here. Now tribe up and slay your day. Here is your host, Becky Bunnell.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Tribe Nail Tech podcast. I'm your host, Becky Bunnell, and today's episode is sponsored by Sojel Nails. Hop on over to sojelnails.com/contest to enter for today's product giveaway. Hey, everyone. So today's topic is fire a client. Oh, my goodness. I don't know if you've ever had to do this, but I have. I get lots of messages about people, or I see lots of posts on social media about clients that have been just rotten and horrible and all the other reasons. And people are like, how do you fire a client? First, let's give you some reasons why you would fire a client. One, are they continually late? Constantly late, messaging you, changing their appointments, just on and on and on, always making you late. I know that drives me crazy. Do they complain about your work every time? Are they very picky? Do they bring in just a negative vibe, a negative attitude? Do you just not mesh with them? Like you can't find conversations with them. I know I've had these kind of situations where I'm just like, man, I know that person's on my book and I instantly just have this horrible attitude and feeling because I just don't want to do them. Okay, what other reasons? Maybe they're out there hopping around from nail tech to nail tech. Maybe they're going to another salon and they come back to yours. And they go to another salon and they come back to yours. Maybe they continually they don't have the money. Or I had a client once that would, back in the day when we used to take checks, she would pay for it with a check and then that check would bounce and I would let her know. And she'd be like, well, when I come in for my next appointment, I will take care of it. She'd come in for her next appointment, she'd write another check. So she'd write the check for the previous appointment and this appointment, and then it would bounce. It was a nightmare. Oh my gosh. Now, I get it. When we're first starting out, we're taking anyone that will come our way, anyone that will come and sit in that chair. We want clients, right? So you're desperate. You're wanting clients. I get that. But and I understand if you're really needing the money, we put up with it. I did the same thing when I relocated here. I had to rebuild a clientele again. And I took anyone that, would let me do their nails. And I put up with a certain client for probably 2 years. It was a nightmare. She was late every single time. She would come in. I'm going to give you the dirt. Here we go. This is the whole scenario. She would come in. She would have rings on all 10 fingers. She would sit there. She would take them all off. Okay. So I'm sitting here waiting. Take them all off. Then she'd be setting her purse down, setting her drink down, her glasses. Then she'd pull out her iPad out of her purse. She would pull up Pinterest. Then she would scroll through her nail pictures that she'd been saving. And she would pull up probably about 10 pictures and she would say, I want this on this nail. Go to the next picture. This on this nail. This on this nail. This on this nail. Okay, and for one, like if she couldn't get Wi-Fi in my house or whatever, she was wanting my password because she couldn't get Pinterest to open up or whatever. It was a stinking nightmare. So after about 15 minutes of her getting all ready and doing all these things, then we're starting on the nails. Mind you, the nails were really long, which whatever. And if you guys follow my feed, I don't have a lot of clients that want long nails. I like doing them, and that's fine. She was a client that wanted something on every single nail. That's fine. But she didn't want to pay for what it costs for everything that she wanted on every single nail. I was doing lots of hand painting. I was doing crystals and gems and all of these things just blinged out on every single thing. Mind you, at this point, I didn't have a clientele back here in where I was. I was still trying to build. So I had the time. I didn't have people after her, but I was spending a lot of time on her nails and I wasn't charging her. So instantly, which was my fault, I had that resentment every time I did her nails because I wasn't being true to myself and I wasn't charging for what I was worth. Okay. So there's one problem, right? Continually being late. And then the lady had a little bit of a problem. And I hate to say this, but I think she had a little bit of abusive problem to where anyway, she would start falling asleep. If you guys know what I'm talking about, she would kind of drift off during her appointment. Sometimes she would be getting major leg cramps to where then she was like, oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. She'd have to stand up and she'd have to walk it off. Meanwhile, I'm just, I'm sitting here going, okay, we need to get your nails done. All of these things. Okay. It was hard. It was really hard. And every time I seen her on my books, I was just a mess. I hated it. But I put up with it for like 2 years because I needed the money. So I get you. I get you when you're saying, oh my gosh, I need the money though, but this person brings me down. Well, let me tell you what the final straw was. So the one day she hadn't showed up yet. So I text her, are you still coming for your appointment? She calls me. Yes, I had some garage door guy was just here. Anyways, they just left. And so I'm just leaving. And I'm like, okay, you're already a half hour late for your appointment. And it takes you another 20 minutes to get here from where you live. I said, I can't do you today. And she's like, yes, please. I've got to have my nails done. I just got to, and I said, my little girls have a birthday party they have to be to at this time, and I'm not going to have them late. And I said, so no, I cannot do you today. We're going to have to reschedule you. No, please. We'll just do something easy. I promise. Let me just, please, I'll be there. I'm on my way. I've already left the house. And me, again, not being true to myself, not setting my boundaries, not sticking up for my boundaries, and just flat out saying no. I said, well, it's like, you need to hurry then, because I'm not having them late. Like, I was getting kind of rude. And I was like, we're not doing bling, okay? So she gets there. We go through the whole routine again. She pulls out the iPad. She's doing all these things. And I said, I don't have time for all this stuff. Like, my girls have a birthday party to get to. Sure enough, just the way she did it, she pushed me into like doing this and this and this. My girls were late for the birthday party. We were in such a hurry that I didn't reschedule her next appointment. And she left. I was upset. I hurried and got my girls to the birthday party and come home. My husband, I ranted to him. I was like, I told him the whole scenario, which every single month when she came, I complained to him. And he finally said, that's it. He's like, every single time you do her, you're upset, you're mad, you're angry, you're in a bad mood because you did her. She was late, this and that. He's like, that's it. He's like, you're not doing her again. And I said, I've already tried to fire her as a client. I said, it doesn't work. She will be coming and knocking on my door. She's not going to listen. I've tried and tried. And he's like, does she have another appointment? And I said, no, we didn't have time. And he's like, okay, there you go. He says, you're going to sit down. And he said, you're going to write her a letter. I kept my client card. So of course I had her address. I wrote her, he's like, you just write her a letter and said, thank you so much for being a client for the last 2 years. He goes, I don't care what you do. You can use the excuse that you blame it on me. You can say you need more time for teaching. Whatever the excuse is, he's like, you write her a note right now and get that in the mail. And he's like, you're not doing her again. I was like, and I'm like, she's still going to be calling me. She's still going to show up here. And he's like, done. So I wrote the letter and I just said, I can no longer do your nails. Here are a few salons that you can reach out to. Now, mind you, I did not give them any of the salons of the nail techs in the area that I had made friends with, that I had taught in my classes. Of course, I wasn't going to send them this client that was just a nightmare. So I just looked in the phone book, some random salons. Kind of rude, but yeah, some of the non-standard salons. And I said, Here are some phone numbers that you can call that are closer to your house. They're right in your town. And I'm like, thank you. And as simple as that. And I couldn't believe it. Like, she never did call me again. I've never heard from her since. And I am telling you, the weight was lifted off of me. It opened the door. This is what is so crazy. I was so worried about getting rid of her because I was like, I need the money. I need the clients, right? So I was holding on to her. I was holding on to the negativity, the bad energy, all that stuff. I finally released her, and I literally got like 8 new clients in the next couple weeks. I'm not kidding you, people. It's like magic. It really is like magic. You let go of the negativity, the universe says to you, well, hello, I'm going to open this door to you, and I'm going to send you all these new people. It happened for me. I couldn't believe it. So not only did I not miss her money anymore, because I had new people that were calling me all of a sudden, I didn't have to put up with it. I didn't have to feel negative about it. And I wasn't lowering my standards and lowering my value, because then it was a lesson learned. It was like, I will never do that again. My policy is 10 minutes late and you reschedule, and I'm going to stick to it. You no-show on me, you pay $35 for a no-show fee. I will send you a Venmo request. And if you want to stay on my books, you will pay the no-show fee, right? I will charge for my nail art. I will charge for the rhinestones, the hand painting, all of those things, because I just got this horrible lesson I had to learn, okay? So it's not all about the money all the time, people. Guys, I know money is important and you're always afraid and we're always wondering where it's going to come and we got to pay our bills. But if we let go of the negative people, the energy just flows in, the blessings come in, and you will get more people. I promise you. So I talked a little bit about what I did by sending a letter or a note in the mail. You could send an email. You could send a text. Sometimes you don't even need to have that conversation. I'm sorry, I don't have any more openings. Just work them off your book. Sorry, I don't. They don't need to know that you have openings. It might be a little white lie, but they call, they text, and they're wanting in with you and they need to reschedule. I don't have any more openings. I can refer you to another nail tech. Maybe they're on time. Maybe they're paying you for your services, but maybe you just don't click. Maybe you just don't mesh. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I've had that happen. Sometimes you have to just say, you know what? I don't really feel like I'm the nail tech for you, like we're really meshing very well, but I do know somebody that would be a really great fit for you, and I think you would really like her. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. Give them their phone number, give them, their contact information. Like I said, sometimes it's just the conversations aren't flowing and you just don't feel that vibe with that person, and it's okay to not do them. Now, if you fired a client and they come begging back and they're crying and they realize the grass wasn't greener on the other side and that they really weren't respecting you, maybe they've no-showed on you 3 times and you're like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. They come crawling back to you. Like I said, there are situations when that happens and that's up to you. But maybe lesson is learned. Maybe they've apologized and they are not going to do that again because they want to be your client. Well, there you go. You've solved the problem. The biggest thing here, guys, is I want you to remember is that you need to be respected. Okay? This is your business. We don't typically make money if we don't have someone behind our chair, but they need to respect us. They need to respect our time. They need to be on time. They need to not no-show on us. So set your boundaries. I talk about this a lot. Boundaries, your policies, your values, and you stick to them. You don't have to put up with any of that other stuff. Take control of your business. This is your business. This is your career. And you want it to be enjoyable. You want to do what you love every single day. And you don't want to have this negativity around you. It really is hard to go to work every day when you're just feeling so negative. So let go of those people. I promise you, you'll feel so much better. So I hope this helped you out a little bit. If you have any questions, or maybe you've had some different situations, you've had to fire a client, put it in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, put it in the comments. I would love to hear your situations of like how you had to fire a client, or maybe you're going through something right now where you're not sure how to let go of them. Reach out to me and I would love to help you on this situation. And as always, tribe up and slay your day.